love you. I know. By the way, I was watching last.
Hey, nice. That should be on a shirt.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That is good. Also, I love that he
Hey.
just went right to. Oh, by the way, just start talking.
Well, the reason I set that up is because
Shortest quote in Star Wars Guys history.
That's true. The only reason I chose that quote was because I wanted to say that I showed. I was rewatching that scene from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah, my 3-year-old son, loves. He's sitting there in bed before he's about to go to sleep
Can we
last night.
please?
He goes, hey, can you please show me Han frozen in carbonite? I'm like, yeah, who doesn't want to see
Han frozen in
who doesn't wanna see
carbonite.
someone get one of our main heroes get tortured?
Yeah,
for a
right.
bit. And so we start
Sure.
showing.
So you did.
Of course, you have to. And I'm looking at that like just 2-minute sequence, and he's hugging her, or they give a kiss, and then I love you. I know, and the music is perfect.
Yeah.
John Williams, and then you step back and you're thinking of the absurdity of the scene, and you're just like, man, Star Wars just constantly was pulling stuff off that you're like, yeah, Empire is one of the greatest movies of all time, and it is.
Yep.
And yet, around that entire scene is it's Ugnaught pigs,
Right.
that are literally oinking and squeaking.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there going and just grabbing him and like snarling and putting him into this thing. And he's Hans, I love you, I know, which is cool, but even at the time you're just like, that's not what people say.
That's not how it works.
That's all going down as he's being frozen into a big ice cube.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, that's
And a giant
awesome.
dog-like creature in a fur suit.
Yeah.
And we're
And
crying because he feels bad.
And then you look, and then you roll over, and one of the Ugnaughts is just in a trough, and he's just rolling. No,
Right.
But it's just
That's
absurd.
why you can
and you're like,
argue
this
that
is
John
amazing.
Williams is potentially one of the most important characters.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
when that music
Because
hits
it takes
right
all of
there,
that and wrapped it into this
it works
beautiful
great.
package.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Empire's Empire.
Empire's
Love
Empire.
It. Love it.
Welcome back to the Star Wars Guys podcast. As always, we're your host, Mike.
No, hello there.
Myself, Nate. Hello there. And you know him well, Uncle.
I've spoken.
We haven't done a Mando quote.
We
in a
haven't done a Mando quote.
So,
Mando
welcome back.
feels like years and years ago.
Could bring you in
Mando
warm.
seems like
Just
forever
I could
ago.
bring you in cold.
We've got a fun episode for you guys. Obviously, there's not a show currently
Let's run
let's
let's do the
each week.
theme.
And so
From the helmet, from the helmet. We're gonna ask questions from the helmet.
there you
Not
go.
my Kathy.
Not my helmet.
That's our
Oh,
theme.
no, you didn't.
So, From the Helmet. We got another From the Helmet episode. It's been a while since we've done this series.
Yeah,
so
it's and sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. One of the reasons we love episodes like this is these can be questions from anywhere, as far as any time period. It can be in-story questions, production questions, anything. This is basically an episode where we can talk about anything.
Yep.
Each of us put a few ideas in there. We pull them out.
That's
and then
right.
and then we discuss.
That's
But
right,
It's
and if
not
you're
a
watching-
one
One of a
topic
new-
yeah.
takes over the entire episode. This is,
We
if
should
my
have a
math is correct.
random. We should have a random improv scene thrown in there as well.
I
We
like
should.
An
it.
actual from the helmet improv scene. You are.
Ooh.
Why did we
You-
not mix in idea, and then it's like, and then this one is
It's charades.
Uncle, quick, act out Princess Leia being surprised that Han Solo still got the same jacket. New jacket. No, same jacket. This is just,
Same hair. Yeah.
I know. I changed my
I know.
hair.
I changed my hair.
I like it.
Yeah, that was it.
We
That was
just
what I was
immediately do
thinking.
that, and then they're like, all right, Nate, it's your
All
turn.
right,
And
Yeah.
then it's,
next one.
what is Rian Johnson's biggest? And then we go something just an actual thing. And then
Donald Trump is giving
Quick.
the speech in Return of the Jedi with the Emperor talking to Luke.
well, we love Ugnaughts. Do we love them? Look at my Ugnaught there. Isn't he the greatest?
That could be
Look.
in the hat.
Look at we love our Ugnaughts.
Look at my
Squealing
Ugnaught.
like a pig.
Like
we
a-
love 'em.
and-
Which
like
and
a
dare I say,
dog.
and dare I say, the Ugnaughts love me. They love me. We are polling great
I'm
with
big
the
with the
Ugnaughts.
we
Ugnaughts.
love
The Ugnaughts.
we love the educated Ugnaughts. We love
The poorly
educated
educated.
Ugnaughts. So good.
But
Yep.
From the helmet, we got questions literally in the helmet, and
Literally.
we just pull them out randomly.
Literally.
And we also like this episode too because, or this series, it provides an opportunity for those that are watching, tuned in live, to drop some of their questions. Some questions you guys have that it could be from anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious questions, fun questions, whatever. You can drop them in the
Improv.
chat, and we'll and we'll do it.
Wigs.
And we'll dress them. So it's a lot of fun, and yeah, we're excited to drop some answers.
We'll definitely give some responses.
Yeah, there you go.
We will.
Well, enough
There
of the
you go.
answers now. All right, so we just get into it.
Do it.
Sure.
Nate,
We got Tosh in the chat. Says hello there. Hello
where
there.
can the people
Grab one,
send
Mike.
us?
Grab a
All right.
question. Here.
Start us off here.
I typed mine out, so the sheets are a little smaller. You got to dig to find those.
Dig.
I planned ahead. I thought about stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, that was good.
That's
That'd be
good.
a
All right.
bad
What we
idea.
got?
We've got, if you could own a Star Wars droid,
First one.
what would it be?
The actual droid.
Compliment.
Yes.
Not a version of it, but the actual character.
The actual character.
We'll put ones
droid.
that we've already.
Oh, man.
That was actually shout out to Taylor. That was a Taylor question.
Nice.
Wow, I like it.
If you could
Good
own
job. I like it.
a
Taylor.
droid, what droid would it be? I feel like every project now, like Star Wars, has becomes like it's iconic.
Yeah.
Having a droid. So any new Star Wars project, there's always some type of droid.
Yeah.
Easy for me.
Yeah.
SM-33
Right.
is up there now, and
Yeah.
then we got B from Andor. Like
B is
everything
great.
is.
I want Red. Oh, come on, Red. Let's go. It's got a bad motivator. Look. He's like, sir.
Yeah, what are you trying to pull on us?
I also love a bad motivator too. Sir, I'm just not motivated to go with you. just
Bad motivator.
self-destruct. He's got a bad motivator. You need to come in and have
Work on the motivators, Luke.
Gene Hackman's gonna come in and give him a good motivational speech before they go play.
All right, let's go.
Come on.
My droids are on the floor.
They're gonna listen to the "If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe."
Then you'll be successful.
It just pans out and it's just a bunch
That's
of droids listening to
That
him.
was great.
R2's got to be up
I
there.
was just gonna say that too.
But-
but
But that droid's going to cause me a lot of trouble. That he's always getting into stuff, though, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
He
a puppy.
is.
R2's like a puppy. He's cute and sweet, but he's going to be have a lot of
SM-33
lot
definitely
of
keeps things
cleanup.
interesting. Like one moment he's on your
33?
side, one moment he's not.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Any droid with a deadly subroutine, I balk at that.
yes, yeah.
Although I think you
Droid
worked through it.
pirate.
Right.
You're up for an adventure, but
Yeah.
The
The annoying factor of 3PO kind of pushes him
I
lower
know,
on
I was
the
gonna say
Yeah.
3PO is a hard one because I'm almost positive I wouldn't. Just
K2SO.
Is
Is
it-
not,
what's
K2SO.
what's
Um,
Leia's young Leia's? Is it Lola?
Oh, Lola.
Lola?
Lola?
Yeah,
Oh,
Lola.
yeah.
The little. That
Right.
one's fun.
Lola,
Right.
little flies around thing.
It's true.
Was it L3?
L3?
L3, yeah.
L3.
Lando.
L3's got a little bit of the 3PO, like a little bit of.
Little
like,
bit.
We could turn down the chatter just a little
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah.
But so we get you through hyperspace.
Yeah.
She's.
Yeah, you may have to fight Lando for her, but
Might fight Lando for her.
See, if we're in
Technically,
Star
she's
Wars, there's a
the
lot of
Falcon.
if we're in this world, there's a lot of joy. They don't have much benefit. Like, you know, plotting nav points in hyperspace is not that useful.
Oh yeah, for us, if
To
we were
me.
to take one,
yeah,
it's true.
true.
That's true. I think.
So what you got? What you going with?
I think obviously I would have to go with the supervisor. I just want to control the whole
Supervisor.
planet. So
I'm
he's
gonna
my
go
driver.
with.
So that's right.
I am gonna go with. Provided I could speak to him, I'm gonna go with BB-8.
I was just gonna say
BB-8.
BB-8.
It's a good
'cause
mix of.
It feels R2,
He can
but a
roll
little different.
anywhere.
He can move. He's a little more
True.
mobile R2. Although R2's got those jets that he randomly
He
pulls
does. That's
out.
true.
True.
BB-8 can light little fires.
That's true.
He's got you. He
BB-8
understands sarcasm.
BB-8
BB-8's the only one I know
BB-8
that
is
gives
great.
the thumbs up. That's
True.
That's not a a humanistic like I think L3 and all those guys can do
Right.
it. But
True. BB-8 is great. I'm trying to think
trying
of
to
some
think
other
if there's-
droids.
Kobe was
From
Dio?
Clone Wars.
Oh yeah.
Dio
Dio. Mhm.
Dio
Dio.
voiced by J.J. Abrams.
Is it Dio? Yeah.
that is.
Chopper.
Chopper.
Chopper's
Would probably be up there.
Ruthless.
ruthless. Chopper's
Chopper's a
Oh.
good one.
Does it come with Dave Filoni?
Does
Or
it
It comes
come
with
with
Filoni.
the inside?
It comes with comes with Filoni.
Quick,
and
Dave,
Hera
give me a Star Wars idea.
and Jason. Yeah,
I'm
I don't
sticking with
want to give the.
BB-8.
I was gonna say I don't want to give the boring R2 answer because I think
Yeah.
that's probably the.
Yeah.
Right.
I would maybe I'd go. Here's my only thing with SM-33. I need to know for a fact we got all
We
that
are-
nonsense
that's
out of his
over
brain
with.
that he's not going to like slit my throat on
Yeah.
some
That's
captain
right.
technicality in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
If I know he's for sure on my side,
He's
he
pretty
can
useful.
fly, he can fight. I think
Mhm.
I would take SM-33.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
And we could just do fun pirate voices back and forth. Him being, of course, legitimate and me trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd be close enough, and I go, "Arr, I love going to Arby's." And he'd be.
What's an
be,
Arby's?
Yeah, he'd just be. Permission to commit mutiny, sir. He'd just want to. He'd want to overtake me constantly.
I love how you have that, and then you go to B from Andor, and it's just Cassian.
Right. Yes.
Cassian.
B is a great
Powering
one.
down his
Yeah, I love it. It's a
batteries
great
are
one.
low.
Yep.
Did you say
Yeah.
one?
What's funny is I was actually debating between the two of those. But yeah, I think Smee's maybe a little too much of a risk. A little too much of a risk.
Turn on you.
I want a droid who pirates and who plunders and pillages
Plunders.
villages. That guy gets
True.
just rogue.
I would honestly probably do R2 or BB-8.
Yeah, R2's.
I think those would be.
I like it.
R2's got a lot of knowledge.
He does.
He's been through a lot
He has.
and doesn't get wiped. I mean, some of these droids, it's 3POs. We're getting wiped. We can't be.
Yeah.
We can't
gotta
be on our.
R2 has all the databases for all of them. You can restore them from R2.
Yeah.
Oh. Nate, you want to pull the next one,
Yeah.
or get a hand to Uncle and have him pull one, or
All right.
I like it. We try
I'll
to make
do
it a
this
little
for
more
20 more
quick
minutes.
hitting episode here.
Oh, it's one of mine.
Ooh, what does he got?
Got to do Mike's joke. La La Land.
Oh, very good job, Warren Beatty.
If you we're doing this for 55 years. La La Land. What? You can read a script, but you can't read a card?
I'm sorry, it says Moon Knight. Well, explain that to me.
Wait, what?
How can we read?
Well, they were
something
all
that's
there.
not
Yeah.
there?
Nominees. Winner.
Winner. The
I
one
don't know
in
what the card
bold.
said.
No,
Maybe
I
it
don't know
was-
either.
Let's give him a break.
It
He's
said
a
La La Land.
movie
Psych.
star. Right? Psych. Not La La Land is what it said.
Yeah.
If you, okay. I don't know where this came from. If you could erase one thing from Star Wars, what would it be?
Ooh.
Erase.
Erase. It never happened.
Man. Erase the sequel trilogy.
It's an interesting thought.
Oh, boom.
Whoa. It's an interesting thought
Yeah.
because does the ramifications of erasing that change everything else?
Yeah.
Or does the story continue and that little piece is gone? Could be a
True.
phrase, could be
yeah.
a moment, a side moment.
Let's say it's something that's been talked about
Could be a
forever. Like,
movie.
it could be the Luke and Leia
Yeah.
romance thing could be out because clearly
That's right.
that doesn't play into the bigger picture. That
Yeah.
doesn't. That isn't.
Doesn't.
And they
Scratching Chewie on the neck.
Yeah.
Take that as
Chewie kicking his hind leg.
that's not.
That's-
And
that's-
cut. Perfect.
yeah,
Print it.
Yeah.
What?
He's late. Wait, in the same movie, he's going to fly the ship.
Right,
No,
right.
he's a mutt. Like,
What do you
what
guys
are we
think about
doing
this?
here?
Oh,
He's trying to
the
take out
boys.
Plagueis.
Oh,
because-
Plagueis.
No,
out.
I wouldn't take out Plagueis.
No,
I
I
would
know
just,
what you mean though. It
I
is
would've
hard
just
that
changed
the
it.
Plagueis
Knowing what
for-
we know now.
like yeah.
Well, it's hard to say have a big of all these years excited for a Plagueis return, and
It's
it's in a show that
It's
gets canceled.
canceled
So you don't ever get-
immediately.
Yeah, that is hard.
BB-8
Yeah, because
is a
now
slot
it's
machine.
like you also are now stuck with that. Like the
I-
intention was to build off of that, but now with it being canceled, it's like well that is canon now.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're doing Plagueis in any other form or project, it has to relate somehow to that.
Mm-hmm. Before or after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
It's
Not bad.
I don't know.
I think erase something.
Somehow Palpatine.
I would say there's a couple. There's a few
That
things that I
line.
think are smaller, like not huge in scale, but maybe is something that I feel like the negative parts of the fan base have gotten a lot of mileage out of this thing.
Oh, and
That
it
would be-
adds to a
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something that's like, oh man, I like when like there's times when we've watched, all the three of us have watched
I think I know what
some
mine is
current Star
actually.
Wars stuff, and something
Yeah.
will come out and you'll go,
They're gonna die.
I know they're gonna get on that one.
Yeah,
and you're just kind of
right.
like it's.
I've got
it
mine.
doesn't affect us as much watching it. We're not like, oh, this show stinks. We're like fuel to the fire a little bit there or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's small. It's not the thing, but it's just one I was thinking about because we mentioned it last week. I think probably getting away from people surviving lightsaber.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
And again, it's not a huge thing because again, I love those shows that have done it, but I don't want to. I don't want
Rita
to undermine
survived it
Qui-Gon.
twice in
I don't
one
want to
show.
undermine Qui-Gon's
Right.
death.
Yeah.
Where now, he's a Jedi master, and he gets it, and then some people are getting it multiple times. I like the idea that lightsabers
Yeah.
slice off a limb immediately, and if you get hit in the gut, they're pretty deadly.
Yep.
Versus like,
Yeah.
surviving them all the time. But
It's fine.
I get that it's not.
Yeah.
I
It's not,
agree.
again, that's not a huge. It doesn't keep me up at night.
I agree.
But,
Yep.
Make
something that people-
lightsabers dangerous again.
Something that people, exactly.
Should be a
There
hat.
you go.
I think for me, which is actually coming from one of my favorite Star Wars movies, just not my favorite scene,
Hmm.
is
Ewok Battle of Endor.
no, actually I love that.
No. Wouldn't change a thing on that.
Wouldn't change it.
That's true.
No, I think Leia floating in space was just not
Really?
really my favorite.
He's saying that because that was just on in the
Whoa,
background.
I kind of
I-
like that moment.
I don't. I just.
You just
I
mean the execution of it?
That
I
adds
think-
to another discussion.
yeah, I think
Yes.
there's
How quickly do we need to get him out
obviously
of this podcast?
it's one of my favorite movies in Star Wars, and I think they could have revealed her ability with the Force maybe in a different light. But I don't know, for whatever reason that just wasn't my favorite.
That's all right. Yeah.
We hadn't seen
The caretaker.
that, I guess, from
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good. Uncle, you got one?
Yeah. Maybe.
This is your question.
I hadn't thought of any answers to any of these.
Actually, I don't think I
I
did
might
either.
remove. I'll try spinning. That's a cool trick.
Ooh.
Felt like it
Yeah.
was a fun thought, but it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
definitely something that
I
people
would
have
have
made
loved.
fun of.
I would
for
have
years,
loved
so.
for Anakin
for
to
sure.
kind of like become more than a kid in that moment. Just
Yeah.
understand the gravity, step into it, and become a glimpse of something.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
just
a
a
little
kid
more
who.
control over
It
this
felt like
situation.
he was getting lucky.
Yeah.
I wish he would have addressed that like the pod race.
Because the pod race
Yeah.
doesn't feel like luck
Not at all.
Yeah,
He's focused.
exactly.
He's
Yeah.
using his skill. He's flipping stuff. and
Yeah.
changing rerouting the fuel
It's
lines.
funny you're bringing that up because
That
I've
would've
never thought
been-
about
Yeah.
how
Could've been-
that is
could've
in-
transformed
That's
the
true.
entire
pod
battle.
race where he's
That's
like the
true.
pod race are like
Oh, he's a
you
machine.
must have Jedi instincts. I mean, even Qui-Gon said you must have Jedi instincts to race pods. Like, and then they
Yeah.
put us in the cockpit behind the pod race, and you're like, this is insane.
He's awesome.
And then
Yeah.
he's
And adapting
Yeah,
and
then he's
adjusting.
flying
Yeah,
and
the ship.
I think
flying
you're.
and making
I think you're
decisions.
right. I've
we
never
flip
really
that
thought about
switch,
that.
yeah, that
changes
makes
the
sense.
whole
That's a
thing.
great. I think that's a
Yeah.
really good one.
That's true.
That is a really good one. I like that.
Give a little glimpse of a little more to
It's
the.
not accidental. It's kid special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's
if I
good.
would say one thing I would add, just as a little,
Yeah.
I would say maybe I would
That's
love
a good question. What would you,
to
I have
have
something I would
had-
add too.
Yeah, there's
Strengthen
a
the
couple.
accents on
Thicker.
thicker.
more
Yeah,
Scottish.
thicker,
Uh,
on
We want-
no, I'll do it.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Strengthen,
man.
I want,
strengthen those.
I'm like, if we're gonna get canceled, send us to the moon. Like we're getting out of here. No. No, I think there's a couple of things from the sequel trilogy that I really love the idea of.
Mm-hmm.
That I think if given more time or if given, and again, it's always hard when you have different directors and everything. There's gonna be some stuff that's super consistent. And I think there's a lot of things that JJ and Ryan did picking the ball up for one another that I thought worked great.
Yeah.
And then there's others that are like, oh, this was set up. I'm curious as to what JJ's original idea was or Ryan's original idea
Yeah,
was
because
for
we got
this
a different direction.
because you just focus on different things. I think would love to have seen, again, maybe it undercuts. I would have loved to have seen maybe from a fan's perspective, a little more of the Snoke to Palpatine connection.
Oh yeah.
And again, I'm not even one of the people who have like a major problem with Palpatine coming back or anything.
I don't either.
But I don't.
No, I think it
but
actually makes sense.
After Snoke has already been eliminated, I do understand some people being like, wait, after Snoke has already been killed, then we retrospect say, and Palpatine was behind it the whole time. It feels like there's a little bit of a missing, like you just not like a
if
missing
even
link.
reported to him or something.
But yeah, like that there was
like a Vader report. Where
or
he
then
comes
in the
in.
next
Yeah.
in the last movie they gave some just even a little bit of an inkling of like, yeah, here's just a little more of detail of you know, we found out here we found this recording and Snoke and he's calling it something like, Master, are you out there? Or something. It was just even a little bit of
Yeah.
but again, it doesn't that's
Yeah.
not something that like upsets me or anything. And then also obviously I think we get the Knights of Ren.
That's what I was thinking. Knights of
But
Ren.
it would have been cool to see a little bit of Kylo's connection to the Knights of Ren or like
Yeah.
any of that. And again,
Yeah,
I know
that'd
they
be cool.
explore that in some
So this guy's
comics and
trying to
stuff.
add stuff, not eliminate.
I want to
Yeah,
add
change
something
it.
too. I got
Yeah.
something. I wish
I'm thinking sequel trilogy now.
I wish
because that's
Maul
okay.
would have had his Darth Vader moment. Where are the plans you've stolen?
Oh yeah.
I wish if Maul had that before he came on the scene, he'd have
That'd
been
be cool.
he'd have been actually scary. He looked scary,
Yeah.
Yes.
but he didn't actually do anything all like
True.
evil like Vader
Yeah,
did.
it's true.
True.
My
No, I like
Yeah.
that. I think it's good.
my wish.
Yeah.
What that
What we
is.
got?
That was a good one.
Oh, that's another one.
Oh.
Let's
Mine.
see what we got. Ooh. Favorite non-Force user in Star Wars.
Ooh.
Favorite non-Force user in Star Wars.
Carson Teva.
Easy.
I
Next
love
question.
It was between
Easy.
Teva and Krennic.
Babu
you know,
Frick.
I'm a Krennic guy.
Not Babu.
I'm a
Krennic.
But I am the Babu.
Babu can kick rocks.
Babu
I'm
Frick.
I'm team
Also-
Krennic.
We don't know though. Maybe Babu does have the Force.
We have
I
no
gotta
idea.
I gotta throw. I mean,
Han.
Han Solo has to be
yeah,
up there.
Han's got to be up
Do
there.
you like Han Solo? I can't tell by the shirt.
I like him.
Yeah, no, Han. I mean, Han is up there with top I almost said non-sports users, non-force users
Yeah.
in the history of film. Now I know in other films there isn't the force, but of all the people, Star Wars or
Han
non-Star
Solo.
Wars. Yeah, Han Solo probably. Jack Bauer. Yes, no.
Frodo.
Yeah.
Frodo.
Gladiator.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I think it's Maximus Decimus
Frodo.
Meridius, and then
Maximus.
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo's
They're
in
on the
there.
same tier. No, Han Solo is the Mr. Cool, Mr. Charm. I mean, he's the epitome of all. Mr. Clean, even. When
Why
you
am I
about it.
thinking of?
I
I'm
thought the
Mr.
same-
Cool.
I thought
I'm
the
the
same
coolest.
I thought the same thing. I was about to say, I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Han.
Doo 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 doo.
I'm Mr. 101.
Yeah.
Friends call me
Um,
Han or Han.
I would say Jabba.
Java 0.
Yeah, I think Han. Han's up there. Lando's up there
Han.
too. I
Boba?
Leia, Boba.
Oh,
I have
Poe.
Poe.
Poe is cool with it when he comes
Oh,
flying in
yeah.
with the ship, and then Finn doesn't recognize that it's him. Man, that's one heck of a pilot.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
That's
He
Poe is
is.
pretty
he's a good one.
pretty sweet. I would say Finn's up there, but he might be a Force user.
He's certainly
They
force
definitely
sensitive.
hinted at
Mhm.
it.
Say near the end. Yeah, I think Han is kind of the Hall of Fame answer there. Like if you just kind of know.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would
That's
say
when
Leia,
we're ranking.
but
Original, I would have said
Leia.
That's
Before
that's
Rhea.
when we did our previous podcast of
Yeah.
ranking Star Wars moments, and you're like, let's take the trench run and just
That's out.
yeah,
let's take
We call
John
that
Williams and
the-
elevate it out of when we talk about the.
We call that
important
the
people
Wilt
stars.
Chamberlain rule.
Yeah.
True.
When we discuss Wilt Chamberlain, we set him aside. just
non-Force
because
users. John Williams.
No.
Well, he
John
might have
Williams.
the Force actually.
Will
He's
Chamberlain.
in there. John
Now,
Williams.
Will Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain could be my favorite non-Force user
Conan. Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Han. Han.
If I had to go someone other than
Maybe
Mando.
SM-33.
Han, SM-33 is a good one.
Mando's pretty cool.
I like a little.
Non-Han.
Yeah. Well, not Han. I think
Padme.
Lando's a fun one. I think Lando.
Yeah.
It's Han adjacent. This is. I told you I was watching the.
Oh, I
car
got a
ride
good
scene.
one.
It's funny that George has said like they. One of the main reasons they
Yeah.
wrote his character in is because they thought Harrison Ford was not going to come back
Yeah.
in the next movie, and they're like, "Well, we need another charming
Another
smuggler
smart,
type of
smooth
like, let's just
talker.
have make him be his best friend.
Mhm.
And then if we lose Han, we at least have Lando for the next one. And turns out it worked out where they got both of them back.
They got
so.
both of
Yeah.
them.
I got a good one.
Yeah.
Hera Syndulla.
Oh man. Yep.
That's a
You'd
good
get
one.
a heck of a pilot.
She's great.
I got to go in, little Kira.
Kira.
What
Kira's a
about
fun
any
character.
of the batch?
Oh, and Isaiah and I've been watching. We just
Tech?
finished. We just
They
went
just
through.
came out with a new book. Bad
I
Batch.
know,
Really?
Sanctuary.
Novel. Yeah.
I saw that comes
Wow.
out in August. I
yeah.
think, or July.
Hunter's gotta be.
Wonder.
Isaiah and I have been watching
Hunter's
Bad
up
Batch
there.
episode by episode,
Yep.
and we just finished the first season.
Wow.
And Bad Batch, you almost forget how incredible that show is.
It
It's
is.
so good.
Like it really is up there with any
Hemlock?
of the Hemlock's so good.
Need to watch it again with
I
the
do.
Early
conclusion. now.
Rampart just
Yeah.
destroyed. They blew up. The cities in Camino, completely destroyed them, and it's the way the animation in this is next level from anything even in the
it's
other
so
stuff.
good. It's so good. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Top
yeah,
tier.
Hunter's a great.
I would
one.
go Boba Fett. Would buy just
Ooh.
going back to my childhood. There was no
Boba Fett,
character
that's
that
good.
had a higher
for sure. I think that's a
I
great
think
one.
that's good too. I would say
Boba.
yeah.
Boba.
Boba, Han, Hunter,
Cad Bane. I
Cad
like those
Bane.
bounty hunters.
I think
I like the
Sebulba.
Bounty
Bounty
hunters
hunter.
are cool.
Sebulba.
Mando, yeah, those are good.
Nobody says Chewie.
Are you
Let me
picking?
see.
So yours
Nobody
is Han.
says Chewie.
I know.
I love Chewie,
Han
but I
Solo's
can't
first.
understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got? He's
Hux,
going Han.
Probably Hux.
Hux. That sounds about right.
No, oh, sorry, General Hugs.
Hugs.
General Hug.
No, I
About
think
his mother.
You're going Han.
if he goes Han, then I'd go Boba.
Han
Just
Solo.
to switch it up, because I think Boba's for sure in my.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would probably go
Maybe a little Galen Urso.
to switch it up. Then I'd
Genius with
probably
his
go
mind. Although
I'd
my
probably
mind
go,
isn't what it used to be.
either Lando or Mando.
Ooh.
Maybe a little Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Saw Gerrera.
Lando or Mando.
Protect the dream.
Here you go.
Save their billions.
That's a good one.
Oh, I think
Good
this is
question.
a big one. This might be mine.
Uh-oh, here we
I had a
go.
big one in there too. We'll see.
It's mine. This is a quick one.
darn.
After Han's
See how he is pulling his own.
after Han's death,
Gosh, this guy.
What a transition.
do you
My
think?
favorite, and then he kills him.
Yes. After Han's death,
What
do
you said?
think,
Han was your
Han,
favorite
yeah,
after
he
his death?
died,
Um,
and things got really good.
after Han's death, do you think Lando was tempted to ask for the Falcon back? I thought about this morning. I thought about this morning. Of like,
It's my ship, right?
he wanted it so badly, he lost it.
He does
Oh,
fly in
wow.
on it.
He fly. I mean,
He's
it's
probably like,
Looks like
what are
the
chances
Falcon's
that?
mine again.
What are
it's
the
like,
chances that bet now is over?
right? Like he sees,
Yeah.
Ray, and they all show up, and he's kind of like,
So,
hey, that's my ship. Like, and where's Han? Well, he didn't. Say no more. The ship is mine. I'm
Do you
going
think
back
he-
and take
yeah,
the
do you
I'll
ship.
think-
take care of the Falcon.
Do you think he at any point looked at Ray and
Mm.
said, he would want me to have it?
You would want me to have it.
He barely knew you.
He would want me to have
And
it.
it was mine before.
Are my capes still in there? The entire closet.
Yeah.
He's got a secret compartment. All the capes are lined up.
So, yeah,
L3?
that's
Did he?
That's my question. I think does he? And again, we never found out exactly when Lando finds out about.
Right.
I think I'm going to toe
little
the
bit of
line
time.
and say he thought about it but doesn't say it. He thinks about it, how he
He's-
wants it back still.
He would wait for the appropriate moment,
Yeah.
but it was the second thought.
Yeah. It
After,
was the second thought.
oh, you
Oh,
old
man.
pirate. I wonder if the Falcon's mine
Well,
now.
it's fine, yeah. It's technically,
I mean, it's still mine anyway.
Technically, it did call claims.
I never did lose it.
I did call claims.
claimsies, and I also said
Oh,
claimsies,
well,
no
well.
kids. Claimsies, grown-ups only.
well.
Claims
is grown-ups only.
Yeah, no,
my
that's
ship.
yeah, that was a quick
Right.
one.
That's a
but
good one.
That's it. I thought there's. It just popped in my head. I was like, wait, Han's gone.
That's good.
Lando loved that ship. And
True.
And L3's in there. His
Yeah,
droid
it's
is
true.
in the ship.
In there.
Yeah.
He's Gotta at least ask.
He's got to at least go for
Listen,
it.
I'm not, just wanted to find out if you have any other modes of transportation. I don't want to leave you.
Listen,
call yourself a space
listen.
cab.
Thanks for helping us in the war. Get
What
off
would
my
you What
Ooh.
would you want to focus on for a new Tales of the Jedi
ship.
season?
Ooh,
What would you want to focus on for a new
I
Tales
have a
of the
question
Jedi
that's similar
season?
to that.
Yeah?
It's in there. What would you want to focus on for a new Tales of the Jedi?
I think I would like to go back a little bit to Old Republic stuff.
Yeah,
Ooh, that'd be fun.
that would
'Cause
be
I haven't
cool.
really done.
Do you think like existing
back a little
characters
bit.
we know from the books, like that type
Yeah.
of thing?
Mm-hmm.
See them on. I think that's a good way to introduce them.
You
to
mean High Republic or Old Republic? He's saying
Old Republic.
Old Republic.
Old
Yeah.
Republic. I like it.
Revan.
That
Like
would be
some
cool.
stuff we don't
Yeah.
ever get to.
That would be really
That
cool.
would be cool.
Be kind of fun.
I think that'd be a cool. That'd be an interesting way to introduce some of those characters that we've seen in like the video games or these novels
Right.
that we haven't seen on screen yet, and you
Sure.
can kind of introduce them in a way that's not
And
like
it-
here's a
and-
live action movie. It's like
A lot of these jump off of those characters, so it
yeah,
could be cool to see.
yeah, they do.
I think I'd like to, if I did a Tales of the Jedi / Tales of the Sith, I think if I had to do a Tales of the Sith, I would maybe do
So not Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Sith.
Tales of the Sith.
True,
This
because
is-
Empire
'cause
does.
I think that'd
it-
be a great one.
the Empire
'Cause this is
confines you to a certain.
Well, yeah, what I'm doing is this is pre-Empire here.
Yeah.
This is Tales of the Chimera. No.
That'd be
No,
cool.
I think getting essentially the Plagueis novel,
Yeah.
which I love so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
A little young Palpatine Plagueis animated,
Yeah.
I think would just be. It would be enough that like I think people would probably. I don't know. I mean, maybe people wouldn't stop asking for it. I mean, I'm excited for it, but I think it'd be a great way to now. We didn't fully get that with the Acolyte because it got
Yeah.
canceled.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great to then be like, well, we at least have an animated, and again, not like a long running show. I think Tales of the Jedi or Tales of
Little
the Empire,
short.
all that stuff is
Yeah, you
great
could-
because you're not committing to. In our next
No.
3 seasons are all about doing Plagueis in this time
Right.
period.
You can
It's-
tell a story and then go to another one.
and even in that story, you can remember they jump time periods, so it
Mhm.
could be one episode could be solely Plagueis
Yeah.
For
focused
sure.
and his master, the whole banking clan,
Mhm.
like his
Tenebris.
alter ego. Yeah, exactly.
Even
Tenebris.
that.
What's his Damask? What's his Damask Holdings and like his
Yeah.
all of that stuff would be cool.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
then
neat.
then the next episode, at the end of the episode, he gets connected with the young Palpatine.
Yeah.
He gets some of that, and then it ends with Palpatine overthrown. And
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. I mean, in the book, it's really cool, and I think if you
Mhm.
just highlighted a couple of the main
The moments,
from
yeah.
that
That'd be
book,
great.
that feels like
You
a
could
home
even
run.
go if you're going Tales of the Sith. You could even go like Bane. And
Yeah, you can go further back.
can go
Yeah,
to
you
some
can
of
go
those-
Bane. You
some
can
of those
go
guys.
all that stuff.
An episode could be how. An episode of Plagueis could just be how he killed Tenebris.
Totally.
At
That
that
could be-
episode.
Yeah.
That's
I
the whole
think if you
episode.
because they usually
That whole
do,
scene. That they could
Yeah.
just
Didn't they
play that
usually
out.
do like
Yeah.
6 total episodes,
Mhm.
and it'd be
Three-
like 3 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your Plagueis Palpatine.
So
let's
your
say that-
Plagueis Tenebris,
be-
and then it's
that-
Plagueis Palpatine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can do that.
Plagueis
whole
overthrows
thing in there.
Tenebris, and then it's Palpatine
Or if
overthrows Plagueis.
Yeah.
Or if you had to do like a one of them, because what they do, they did Dooku's fall,
and
then they
Qui-Gon.
did,
Mm-hmm.
but they had Dooku and they had Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like these two different storylines kind
Yeah.
of going.
Yeah.
And so you could even do episode one, Plagueis Tenebris overthrow. Episode 2, introduction Plagueis Palpatine.
Yeah.
Episode 3, Palpatine overthrows Plagueis.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
that
be cool.
storyline.
Yeah.
And then on the other one you have
I think
some
Tales
of
of
the
the
Jedi
Sith
stuff
would
for
be.
the-
Tales of the Sith would be really cool.
I worry that if that because of the way Acolyte was received, they may lump that into don't want to hear Sith stories. even though
I
that's
don't think-
maybe not the problem.
I don't.
And
Yeah.
I was
They
thinking,
might,
I hope
they might
they
think we're
don't
going to
think
stay away
that.
from
this
that.
is a short.
Uh-huh.
I won't go into a long answer on Acolyte or anything like that right now because we're trying to keep it quick. But I think one of the biggest things looking back on the Acolyte, because I was even just thinking through like, man, we were really loving those first few episodes, and it's not like any three of us were like at the end like, oh, this just is terrible.
Yeah.
But I think what is hard is when you when you promote a show as basically a murder mystery
Mhm.
Star Wars show,
Yeah.
just like any murder, it doesn't matter if it's Knives Out or whatever. If at the end, when they reveal what the mystery is, if you feel like it's not fully satisfying,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to have it not dampen the whole thing as a whole.
That's
little
right.
bit, just because it's different than other Star Wars shows. This is when you do murder mystery, it's like boom, boom, boom. But then once you get that puzzle piece that fits in, then you re-examine the whole thing.
Still has to be.
And
a
it's so I
satisfying,
think so. I think one of the things that was hard with Acolyte is not that I don't think like I had like major problems with the acting or even some. I mean, there's some
I think
writing
it's just
things.
a hard story.
But I think it was hard
to
that once
do.
we got the full answers of kind of what caused the things we saw in the future, that some of it just felt like, oh, interesting. Like not that I like knew was going to happen and envisioned it a completely different way, but it
Mhm.
was like there was a little bit just for me personally that felt like, oh, I'm trying to think how I feel about that. I'm trying to figure out how they're
I
framing the Jedi in this is making me like a little uncomfortable.
I think that's
almost.
why
There's a little bit
Sometimes
of
telling
that.
the truth
Yeah.
is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think
That's how
that's
they
why
work.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
difficult for me at the end. Was like literally the very end was almost like portraying the dark side perspective, but making the viewer almost feel like what they were like the decision they were making at the end of going different ways was
Heroic
right,
or
like
something,
heroic,
yeah.
like you're supposed to like almost root for that, and it was like,
Mhm.
well, no.
And then we're like, wait, and all the Jedi that we grew up loving Jedi are like scumbags.
Wait.
Like,
Yeah,
it was hard.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough.
I think a cool Tales of the Jedi would be.
Oh, he's
some
going to
of-
answer the actual
Oh
question.
yeah.
Some of the
Well, how did
characters-
I get on
I'm
that?
glad
Yeah.
that we're, yeah.
How did I
some
get
of the
on that?
characters that we do know already, but they're more side characters, but still beloved characters in the Star Wars
Mhm.
fandom that we don't know a ton about. For instance, if we got some stories of like we got Dooku, we got Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
They were main, they were somewhat main characters, and then we got some of their backstory. What about those that are there that we didn't get a lot, like we don't know a lot about? So it'd be cool to see like some,
like we did a Yaddle last time. or
yeah, like
first time.
like a Yaddle that worked
Mhm.
out. I like that. Like
Yeah.
like a Plo Koon or a Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah.
Or like some of these other people on the High Council or something, just seeing a little bit more of their
Yeah.
involvement, their story,
Yeah.
almost shedding a little more light, like positively on those characters, because they had to be of high elevated status within the order if they're
Yep.
going to be on the High Republic
For
or
sure.
on the High Council. So it's
Yep.
like, okay, well, what? Like almost like, where's the credibility? What did you do? What do you? And I know there's novels and there's comics and
Mhm.
stuff like that, but it would be cool to see like
Put it in
little
a show.
shorts of just seeing them do some stuff and
That would be cool.
their involvement with the council, but then also their role.
Mhm.
Like each of their roles were different. Obviously, Yoda was the Grand Master, so he oversaw everything. But then
Yeah.
seeing like, okay, well, what did Plo Koon actually like go and do?
Yeah.
What was his role in that?
Right.
And then where was he off doing? Like, what was he and Kiadi Mundi off doing
Mhm.
before Order 66 and this war even happened? Like,
Yeah.
what was their
What were they doing?
involvement on things? And I don't know. I think
like
it'd be cool to see some of the characters that we know that a lot of the fans have gravitated towards because they're cool characters, they're cool costumes, but we
Right.
don't really know a ton about.
No much more.
But yeah,
Could we have a question from the head real quick?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, not from the helmet.
Least favorite Jedi? Do you have one?
least favorite Jedi.
Bottom of the barrel. Least favorite Jedi.
Oh, Darth in the chat said I think Dave would love to tell Balin's story, and
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
yeah,
I like
that would
that.
be cool.
I like that. I don't know. He just threw out some names there. Got me thinking. Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Kiadi Mundi's probably.
But that's
I am
partly
hoity-toity.
that's partly
What about
why
the
I
droid
think
But I
attacking
like
the
Jabba.
Wookiees?
That's partly
What
why I
about the
thought
droid
Tales of
Right.
the Jedi would actually shed like a better
It
light
would.
on them, like give them
It
something,
could give us a little.
give us a little something that's like, okay, maybe he's
Right.
The
Cooler
Sith have
than
been
I thought.
extinct for millennia. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Kiadi
Yeah.
Mundi, that's enough speaking lines from you
Can
guys.
you go
but yeah.
polish my shoes, please?
Can you go iron my robes?
Kiadi Mundi
I love
Jeeves Jedi. No, I was just thinking.
Yeah,
Mace Windu's
least-
up there for me. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think if Mace wasn't such a good lightsaber fighter, I think that overcomes
That
for me
carries
some
a
of
lot
the
of
other-
weight.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
think the
actually that's a
personality
good
stuff was
one.
a little rough.
Give me a little Tales of the.
Yeah,
Take away a little bit of the.
we got a
Now,
little
listen,
bit of.
there's
we got
a
a little
huge
bit
debate.
Of
There's a
Mace.
huge debate in the Star Wars fandom about Mace Windu and the character and whether he was actually like going too far at different moments, or
Right.
how he treated Anakin. And
Yeah.
some people say they like it was right. Some people say it was wrong. Regardless of that, give us something that will elevate that character even more. Give
Mhm.
us some moments of him highlighting his lightsaber abilities in some sort of mission or something he was
Yeah.
on. I know we get a little bit of that in Clone Wars and stuff, but
Mhm.
give us more of his story
More Mace.
that's highlighted and focused just on him.
Yeah.
I think would be cool to elevate that character
It
even
could be
more.
fun.
I like it. I've got
Could be fun.
15 minutes, so we're gonna do a little speed
All
some
right.
of these too, because we got a lot to get to in some of these.
Yeah, if we don't
Let's
get
do
to
it.
them, we can do them another time.
Yeah. If you had to change, it's a little similar to one of Uncle's, I think,
Okay.
or one that we read.
All
If
right.
you had to change one thing from the Disney Star Wars era, what would that be?
Oh man,
I actually have a couple.
Disney Star Wars
Thanks.
era.
I would say not waiting so long to release another movie.
Oh yeah, well, I
Quicker?
was gonna say I had one that was released like that too, of just like
I
if
might
there
have
was a
two
more
things.
clearer.
I understand the theory behind it, but I think now that two things. They've relegated the crawl
Mm.
to only Star Wars saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when that ends, what do we do?
Go back.
We don't ever get a crawl again?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I
go
think
back.
Star
All
Wars.
of the Force themes, all the original Williams themes are only Star Wars saga. If I could change one thing, I would
Yeah, I
would
agree.
introduce some of those themes
I agree.
into these other shows.
Same.
I agree.
You can't overdo
Crawl.
it, but I mean, give me a little Force
Yeah, like
theme.
you don't need. Yeah.
There's some
And they
Force
try
moments
to, they
that
try
are
to tweak
huge.
them. They try to
Yeah.
tweak it, like they'll take Force theme, but then change it a little bit so you recognize it, but it's
Yeah.
different because it's almost like they want to keep that with Luke.
That's right.
But I agree. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's the music. It's keep some of that stuff in
If
there.
you take Beethoven and
The
you
dog?
change it,
Oh.
you know what you get? Nothing.
Beethoven too. Oh,
yeah.
I'm still thinking about the dog films.
Mozart
Gotcha.
changed is
Yes.
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like now it's like not that's all it is. It's
Yeah,
not Mozart.
Totally.
And the fact if it's closer to Mozart and it's not, it's more not.
More not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
it's clearly
not
right.
it. That's not
now
it.
you're realizing it's definitely not.
That's clearly not it.
It's
Darth
worse
in the
than-
chat gave me an idea for something. I'm gonna change my answer about Leia
Oh,
earlier.
good. Yeah.
Something I would change.
Yeah. The
Can-
hair.
No, Obi-Wan not hiding Leia in the
Oh, in the jacket.
in the jacket.
Oh, in the jacket.
on the
That's
way
hard.
out.
Yeah.
But he
That's
said
tough.
he said Kenobi should have been a movie.
Oh, that would have been good.
That was his answer, I think, for
Yep.
that question.
I would have
Good
had.
thought.
I would have focused a little more on Flea, and I would have had.
he had a bass in his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it away. Give her away. Give her away now.
And he's just strumming as he's running after Leia, and she's still running away from him, and he's like, "Come back!" And then all of a sudden, of course, because he's also Needles.
Yeah.
Then I would also he'd just sit there and he'd be yelling at some of his crew, and he's about to go. And he's doing the whole Needles thing from
He
Back to the
needs
Future.
more.
And just ready to go. No, a couple things I actually thought of. Couple are in story. One you kind of hit on. If we did some production stuff, like obviously, if I could wave a magic wand, it would be amazing if
Yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
have the fallout of a project announced, project falling
Oh,
away,
that's
project
Yeah.
announced, because I think we would have a lot more Star Wars movies already out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the overall discussion about the state of Star Wars has become less. I think it's become less of what we've actually gotten,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
a lot of the negativity is fueled by, of course,
didn't-
we
what
lost
didn't
another
happen?
director, we lost another
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah.
like
Right.
even though some of the stuff on screen like we like more than others, obviously.
Well, that stuff happens all the time.
That stuff
we
happens.
we just
yeah.
don't hear about it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But then the actual two in-story things, two very specific things in story that I'm not like, oh, they made a mistake. It's just like, oh, if this had gone a different way, I probably would have enjoyed it a little more.
Yeah.
Two things is the time. We've talked about this before. The timing of Boba Fett's
Yeah.
kind of transformation coming.
Yeah.
The having the big bad Boba Fett that we know from our childhoods
Yeah,
growing
being
up
after
showing up in
I would-
Mando and
mhm.
having that actually timeline wise be
Yeah.
after
his
his
conversion.
growth and all that from
Yep.
the
Yeah.
Boba Fett show. For at least a lot of the show, it's a little it actually was the tone changes so
It made me
drastically
question the
different that-
timeline of like,
yeah,
wait
that
a
it makes
second.
me even still when I think about it, I'm like, wait, but he came here
But that was-
after
yeah.
this. But then in the Boba
But
Fett
that
show
guy is a
later,
savage.
it does go past that time period because then when they're fighting like in, but then when they are fighting like in
Killer.
in the city, that's after because
Yeah.
Mando comes
Right.
back with
Right.
Grogu, and
That's-
so that's a little muddled, a little confusing. The other thing is have Mando stay consistent with the helmet thing. That's the only
True.
other thing is that like.
And I get
it
that there's
really felt
logistics
like there
behind
was
it from
it felt
Pedro
like there was a
Pascal,
hard
but-
U-turn there on the
story.
this is a character development thing. Character development. He's growing. He's showing Grogu. He takes off the helmet. All the way to the end of season 2 felt like perfection as far as
It
that
became
growth.
it became a practical.
And then when it
It
came
did.
back,
when he's not
and
able to
it's
be
like
there.
actually
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I need to go. We're like, no, you didn't. Don't you remember that season 2 is about them
You
calling you a
becoming more
fanatic.
person.
and Bo and everybody.
And it was
like,
also
you're a
like I'm
fanatic, you're
going
a
back,
cult,
but
you're in a
also
cult.
they don't really address the cult thing either. It's just like I'm going back to.
Which is why we
this.
thought the armor was more bad than she was. Like, it kind of felt like there were things they were putting in place, and they kind of walked it back
Yeah.
a little bit. But
I agree.
if you thought I was gonna say take out Jack Black, no,
No.
give me
Oh.
more.
Double down.
Give me more.
Yeah,
skadoosh.
Would do that. All right.
My skadoosh almost turned into a little Andy Bernard. Go rid-did-did-did-doo. Tuna.
All right.
Yeah.
This could be a simple one.
Some rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Would Anakin have
that's
turned if
easy.
Padme lived?
That's an easy one. Not an easy one, but not the hard one I put in there.
Would Anakin have turned if
That's
Padme
an
lived?
okay question. He didn't even know she died. They
Yeah.
just told him.
I would say
But
He had already turned.
he's gone.
he had already turned.
He's gone.
I think so. Would Anakin have turned if Qui-Gon had lived?
Now that is
always a
That's the
hard one.
question.
that's a question.
Those are both good questions. The original
That's tough.
question was better. Mine was just an add-on. No, I think he had
Maybe
turned.
if he
think he
had
turned.
never had but the dreams were put there to purposely push him.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he had never thought she was going to die.
Yeah. Now that's a
Now,
different thing.
now
yeah.
if you
No.
asked
I
if
think
he had
that's
self-control,
that
I
fear.
would say no.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, the fear of losing Padme is
That was the only
is
reason.
slippery
Yeah.
slope.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Which, of course, was the very thing that made him turn.
He did.
This is similar to what the other question. What do you think the next animated project will be, and what would you create? So not
Mm.
necessarily Tales of the Jedi story, but if you were to create a animated show, first off, what do you think the actual next one will be? If Disney makes another animated show, what do you think it'll be? And then on top of that, what would yours be if you were creating it?
Bounty Hunter Adventures.
That'd be fun.
That would be cool.
I don't know. That's a working title.
Is that what you is that what you would want, or is that what you think they would make?
That's what I would want.
Okay.
I would want that.
Like
There's no like, oh no, I might want to turn good. All it is
Yeah.
is them hunting down the targets
I know. I'm with you.
Yeah.
and bringing them in.
Give
Yeah.
me a little bit of.
It's
Boba
an old
before
time
he turns
western.
good.
It's
I
an old
know.
time
Just going
western
and-
where they
yeah.
go get the guys.
collect a bounty,
Yeah.
be ruthless, and move on.
And some of them are bad guys. Some of them we don't know if they're bad guys, but
Yeah.
we got to collect
I'm with you on that. I could
would
go
love to-
for a little.
because there's a ton of them out there.
I've
You
got
could throw
one
Boba
too.
Fett stuff in there. You could
That's
you could throw Cad Bane stuff
Yeah.
in there.
True.
I mean,
I could
Fennec?
go for.
Fennec Shank, all that stuff could be
Yeah.
in there.
I could go
Be
for a
cool.
little. What's the Seinfeld philosophy? Have you heard when I've heard Jason Alexander talk about this. It was talked about on set, but from Larry
Yeah.
David and Jerry, talking about this show versus their show versus other shows, and they're like, why we can do something insane, and then the next episode just picks up, and their philosophy was, with these characters there will be no learning, there will be no hugging. And that was their thing. It's like these characters are not going to grow.
This
That's
is it.
not part
They
of
already
it.
are what they
don't.
are.
George doesn't experience something that changes him,
That's great.
and he becomes a better person. Kramer doesn't have this big wild thing. And next episode, it's like it never happened.
That's smart because
you got
that's
the
what
W
this is
learning.
what's funny.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Why would we want to change
That's
it?
it. That's
Yeah.
what he says. And they're like, no, that's.
No,
That-
no
that's
learning,
where
no
Jason
hugging.
Alexander's also talking about the way they wrote, the way that Jerry and Larry wrote those things. And
Yeah,
and
because they're
Jason
exactly
was like,
the
I would
same
be like,
at the
wait,
end.
you set this up, and then there's no. You set like an A, B, and a C storyline, and then it concludes with just A and B. And then Larry would say, yeah, it's not, C's not funny after that. It's all about funny. He's like,
It's all about funny.
And Jason's like, but I'm like
But I'm in the middle
I'm
of a.
like I'm a classically trained actor, a theater
Right.
actor. That I'm like, no, but this was set up, and that this was this, and it looks like it's heading
But
to
you
this.
didn't
He's
get
like,
to
no,
the
it's not
story
funny
arc.
after that.
It's not funny. That's
And
the
then they're like,
funny.
but what? And he said, so for that reason, Jason, and he's like, the characters
had
could do
to.
something one week, and the next week do the polar opposite.
Mhm.
And Larry's like, yeah, because it's funny. That's it. Like, that's it. It doesn't matter. He's like,
And
it's
it
not
worked.
about, he's like, it's not about character. It's about funny.
About
That's
funny.
it. That's not funny.
It's always
Yeah,
about
so
funny.
that's funny.
I think a cool
great.
one would be so I think the next one they would make would be more likely to be like Tales of the Jedi, part 3.
More than like a long running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's more likely.
That might be.
Something I
answered the
think
wrong
that would
question.
be cool for them to make an animated. I actually have 2 animated shows I think would be really cool. One would be Knights of Ren.
Oh, that'd be
Be
neat.
cool.
I think just the style and the look of the characters would fit well with animation.
Yeah.
Like the cool design,
Mhm.
the armor. I think you're able to like exaggerate some of those looks, like
Mhm.
Vader and Clone Wars and Rebels and
Yeah.
stuff looks kind of like it looks cool.
Yeah.
So I think that artistic style would be really cool for the Knights of Ren
it.
and telling a little bit more of their story. Like it could even be like before Kylo is introduced to them. Like
yeah.
what
Mhm.
is their purpose and what were they doing? We know that they're tied to the Emperor and stuff, but what a little bit more of their story would be cool to be fleshed out.
That'd
They've
be
got a lot
cool.
of comics about it, but
Yeah.
on screen. And then
That'd
my
be
other
neat.
one would be Crimson Dawn Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Give us more of that. I think would be cool.
I would-
Kira.
I'll see you
like,
running that show.
yeah.
And I would like a little Ben Solo, Luke's Adventures of Luke Skywalker, the Master.
The young Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that can focus on him and young Ben. Some of it can just focus on
Other
what Luke's
little, other
doing.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jedi, other
what
young.
Luke's doing, starting his school,
Yeah.
any of the stuff, any hunting Ochia Bastoon, any of that stuff that comes after Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi, I think
Yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I like
animated. What do we got time for?
it. Got
One
a
more?
few-
2
yeah,
more?
We've got 5. We have 4 minutes left. We might be able to.
4 minutes.
If I could open this.
Well, he's certainly costing us time here.
If you could be an actor in any Star Wars project, what would it be?
Oh
Obviously,
man.
I'd be Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Next.
in the coming.
Oh, not what which actor would I be? I would just be Ryan Gosling because
Just
he's in his
be-
prime as far
Yeah.
as age. Some people might say Harrison Ford, but then I would be 80,
BB-80.
True.
which has its own challenges a little bit. But no, any actor in any Star Wars
If you
project.
could be an actor in any project.
I'm adding realism to it because I couldn't necessarily be one. I would either like to be one of the Jedi that tried to kill Palpatine in the scene where they all died.
Yes, show a
Or
little
one
bit
of the-
Because I could do that.
Yeah.
It's in my wheelhouse.
or one of the Jedi that tried to kill Chimere.
All of them failed.
And they all
I could do
failed.
any of those. Or one of the Jedi because I always imagine trying to make this is possible. Like one of the Jedi in the attack in Attack of the Clones.
Oh
And I
yeah.
could go pause. Okay, see that ninth guy in the back?
See
with
the ones just
green
getting
one?
blasted by the clones.
That's me.
yeah.
I'm right there.
would
I could
want-
do that anyway.
Yeah.
Because no,
I like
I'm
it.
back there. I know it's boring.
Yeah.
But
Give me
My
a.
uncle was gonna say he wants to be Vernestra Rowe.
I was gonna say, give me a Kiadi Mundi.
Please.
Give me a Order 66 moment where it just
Yeah.
cuts to me and I'm out there in the battlefield
the
and I turn
middle,
and my
you
clones
turn
just
around and just
turn on me.
kill me from.
And I'm,
from
yeah.
I could do that.
That's good. I like that.
Star Wars project.
That
Star
or
Wars
Han
project?
Solo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
I would
if,
just
if
be
I'm
him.
going like an
So like,
announced-
I try to think of
An
the era. Would I
announced or
want to
a-
be in the original where it's like now the fandom's like that's part of the original,
Mm-hmm.
or would I want to be in just like terms of the grand scale of how they're making these movies now, where like
Yeah,
practically being on set with these things now are way different than what George was
for
doing.
sure.
So would I
You
rather
thought
be
you were
in-
making a huge
Yeah.
debacle at the beginning.
Right. So would I rather have been
Feeling
part
would
of
be
that
better
and
now.
like from a fan base, everyone would be like, dude, that's part of the original. You're
Mhm.
viewed in this light, or be part of what is new and being like, this is crazy.
Or not be seen at all like Mando. You
What?
just
Yeah.
cover
It's
up.
hard. And I'll try to answer it quickly. What's hard is each of these have a little bit of different challenges. If I'm really like playing the game of answering this, I'm like, okay, if I said original trilogy, now I'm in my 70s.
Mhm.
Right?
This guy
So
can't get over the aging.
That's
I
right.
know I'm against people of old age. I want you to
Don't
no, I was
like
kidding, no. If I'm in the prequel trilogy, because I was thinking like, oh, like Hayden would be cool because
Yeah.
he's like not an old dude now, but he's
Yeah.
like super famous. I would go through 20 years of hardship
You
of
would.
people hating
You
on me.
would.
You gotta
would.
take a lot
That's
of
hard.
heat for that
That's
one.
You
hard.
would.
And then I was thinking, oh, the sequel trilogy, and I'm like, yeah, like people don't hate on them. People
But-
definitely hate on the sequel trilogy. That's not very nice either. 'Cause I was
Except for
I was
for
thinking if you're
Adam
like-
Driver. No one
I was
hates on
thinking
Adam
if you're
Driver.
Like Adam Driver, if you're like if you're a little maybe like Oscar Isaac, his
Yeah.
career's turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean, even Daisy Ridley,
done.
she's done
Yeah.
a lot since then.
I think
But-
those two have had not as hard of a time as Daisy
Oh,
Ridley has
no.
though.
Yeah,
like
just
I know
being-
like she
being
can't
the
she like
lead.
deleted all of her
Yeah.
social media and people
being the lead, Daisy Ridley being the lead has been.
And none of them
most
had a
it
harder
comes
time
up.
as the prequels,
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
Ewan. Why does he get a pass?
Ewan's
Yeah.
Ewan and Puppet Yoda's out there living a regular life.
I
and
know.
he just-
True.
I want
I
there to be a
think
little more.
I
He's
would-
got a pass too. What's
I
that
like that we're
about?
rooting for a little more. Like, why didn't people
I-
hate on him?
Why did they
Even
not
the-
treat
even-
them worse?
Even-
What is wrong with society?
if I were
Kiadi-
there,
I'm sorry, but how does Kiadi Mundi get to keep working? Like after that, like debacle.
What about
I-
the droid attack on the Wookiee?
They're gonna
Like immediately.
the child,
There
the
should be
kid.
picket
Like, why
signs
is he
Yeah.
taking a hard
people
time?
outside of his house.
I think
Yes,
if I were
really.
to be an actor, I
Let
would do it.
happen.
I would do it right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I would go to the. I think it would be
Certainly didn't hurt Samuel
wanna
L.
be in the
Jackson.
right
next
now.
You make your
I'd
own.
want to be in the next one,
make
something
your
new.
own place.
There might be some fandom backlash, whatever, but I would want to see the sets and be a part of the scale of the way they're making these movies.
I would
now.
risk the heat to be in Rian Johnson. I didn't care what the outcome would be.
I know. I think I would. Too.
Yeah. Oh, that would be incredible.
Rian Johnson would be like the old cats when Woody Allen would call. They didn't care what his story was.
Yeah.
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 Rian
Yeah.
Johnson called.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Exactly.
that'd be cool.
Last one.
Last
and then
one?
I gotta
Here.
go.
Take one.
Oh, there's two. Maybe I can read them fast.
Oh, this is going to be an easy one to finish on.
What's the worst decision any Jedi ever made?
Not the one I thought it was.
And then the last one.
What's
and
the
then I'll-
worst
The last one is the
decision
easy one.
Okay.
Any
Worst
Jedi
decision with
ever
this one
made.
quick.
Pick that one or this one.
Oh, okay. I'll read them both.
We got a minute.
What is the worst
This is easy.
decision any Jedi
This is
ever
definitely
made?
a 1 minute question.
That's hilarious.
This is a 1 minute question.
What's the most underrated moment in The Last Jedi?
Underrated moment?
Most underrated moment in The Last Jedi.
This is
Um,
quick. This is a
I love
quick
it.
one.
Yeah, you can do the first one. We can do the other one later.
We can do both. I'll do it
It'll
quick.
be a whole
I got one
episode.
more.
Underrated moment
Underrated
in The Last
moment. I
Jedi.
think that the Luke literally force projecting himself
Yes.
there
Yeah, I agree.
is
I agree.
very cool in the moment. It was like, what? He's actually.
I agree.
Is there anything more Jedi than saving them without even actually raising a blade again?
I agree. I actually
That
think
was
that
cool.
moment. I would say the
Worst
my
moment by the
favorite
Jedi
moment
was most
is
of the moments in the Acolyte.
Luke's entire
Yeah.
decision, I think, is underrated. I think it's correct
yeah.
to go into hiding. I think he's more justified to go into hiding than any other Jedi.
I agree.
Because
Actually,
he watched the Jedi ruin the whole.
I think he's more
galaxy.
justified than Yoda and Obi-Wan to
Yeah,
go in.
They failed. He watched the Jedi ruin the galaxy,
Yeah.
oversee the destruction of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and again, in his mind, he's like, he's not saying, because some people are like, oh, how would he lose hope in this or that? It's like, no, I'm not saying he's right, but he is saying, even in the fact that Darth Vader at the end turned, because some people are like, oh, you lose hope, but Darth Vader turned at the end. Like, yeah, after he killed 5 billion
Yeah, he
people.
saw
He
what
blew
the
up
Jedi
planets.
pushed
He
blew-
everything
so,
to.
So he's
Or
thinking,
let happen.
But
if
he's
it's
not
a-
losing faith in himself.
He's
He's like,
thinking-
no, I know that I'm
he's thinking if
staying
there
good.
are,
I don't
Not
trust
at
other
all.
people.
Yeah.
Not at
He's
all.
thinking if there is constantly Jedi rise, and even one Jedi falls, and it leads to all this destruction, then
Mhm.
Jedi rise, then one Jedi
Yeah,
falls.
you trend
and
101 falls. It's just
He's like, it's
massive
such a
destruction.
yeah, it's such a,
Yeah.
a brutal thing
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
like, if all of it
The
goes
risk is too
away,
great.
what happens?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. obviously, I think Rian Johnson would say, even in the movie, that his message is he wants you to think about that, and then he gives you the answer of
That's right.
it's better to have the Jedi because the Jedi.
Even so,
Great,
the risk
great.
is worth
Even
it.
so,
Yeah.
the risk is
Yeah.
worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What was
Nate?
the other one?
We don't have time.
Yeah. Where
There
can
you go.
people find us?
Next
Sorry.
time. We'll do it
Next time.
Next time on Christoph Says.
On
Thanks for
Christoph.
tuning in. If you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell.
Smash the button.
We will catch you guys in the next one, and as always, may the Force be with you.
Hey, smash your button.
I don't know. That's not even a Star Wars line.
Smash it.
Smash your button. You should might be saying that.
Might be smashing
Icky girl.
I keep going to that quote recently because I think that him stacking.